What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Nissan Kicks SV. Huge thank you to Tyler Crowder over at Safford Nissan of Fairfax, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Kicks or any Nissan product, I'll be sure to have Tyler's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, like usual, first we're going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Nissan Kicks SV, and this particular one has been painted in electric blue metallic. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the headlights, then I'm going to work my way down and around into the back end of the Kicks. So starting with the headlights, as standard with the SV, you get halogen headlights with high beam assist as well as standard turn signals. Now, just beneath your headlights, you may notice that you do get a boomerang-shaped chrome trim piece, which is what this piece is right here. And then taking a step back and to the left, let's take in the entire front end of the Kick. So basically, to me, this looks like a smaller version of like the 2016 Nissan Rogue, and I think you will see what I'm talking about when we get into the back end of this vehicle. But anyways, moving on from there, you'll see what I'm talking about later in the video. At the center of the front end, you get this gloss black front grille with your Nissan logo located at the center of the front grille. Then you also get this U-shaped chrome trim piece as well as this U-shaped gloss black trim piece beneath your gloss black grille. And then obviously you can see on this side, you get that other boomerang shaped chrome trim piece. You also get gloss black outer grills, both there and there, which I think the electric blue is accented very nicely by these gloss black pieces that you get. And for this vehicle being at this price point, I definitely appreciate the gloss black trim rather than the satin black trim that Nissan could have put on this vehicle. Now, speaking of some satin black, you do get a satin black lower fascia down here as well as a chrome front chin, which is what I like to call it down here. And then last but not least, if you were wondering about the ground clearance, you get 7 inches of ground clearance with the Kicks, which is honestly more than I was expecting. I would have expected maybe 5.5 to 6 inches, but for 7 inches of ground clearance, I think that is pretty, surprising, to be honest with you. I was surprised by the amount of ground clearance that it had. However, I was going to say, this could be pretty capable, but you can only get the Kicks in front wheel drive, which takes its capability away in a way because all-wheel drive just makes things a lot better when you're driving through snow, when you're driving through mud and stuff like that. So again, front-wheel drive only with the Kicks. But coming down the side, you can see that satin black front fascia leads nicely into your satin black wheel arch moldings here on the side. This vehicle has been optioned with the $220 splash guards, which you can find behind all 4 of your wheels and tires. Speaking of the wheels and tires, this vehicle has also been optioned with the optional $495 17-inch gloss black wheels that are wrapped in 205/55 Firestone FT140 tires. Here's a view of the wheels, and then here's a view of the tread pattern on those tires there real quick. And then coming up, here's a front 3/4 shot of the Kicks up close. One thing that I kind of find interesting is that this vehicle has been optioned with the $250 two-tone paint, which gives you the gloss black paint up here on the top, and then you get the electric blue on the bottom. But what I'm saying that is interesting is that your front 2 A-pillars are satin black, but then the rest of the roof up top here is gloss black. So just kind of interesting to me, because I would have expected this entire piece to be gloss, but again, from about here to here is satin black, and then the rest of your roof up top there is gloss black. But anyways, continuing on down the side, you get these gloss black mirror caps, and as standard, these side view mirrors are power adjustable. They are manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the inside of your mirror, located about right there. That will light up in an amber type of color if there is somebody in your blind spot. And obviously you also get that blind spot monitoring on the passenger side as well. Just thought I'd point that out. Now let's do a little side profile shot of the Kicks. You don't have to step too far back because you may be able to tell that this is a this is a pretty small little SUV. At the top, you get your silver roof rails. However, this one's been optioned with the $435 exterior package, which gives you these black crossbars. So you can see you get two. And then coming down the side, you get gloss black window trim at the top of your windows, which is interesting because it's only about right here that it is gloss black. But then you can see, starting from about right here, it turns into the satin black, and then you get the satin black on the bottom of your windows as well. You also get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, the keyless access function is only on your front two doors. The rear two doors do not get the keyless access function. And then you also get some satin black cladding at the bottom of all of your passenger doors. Now, coming down the side, I wanted to show you this because if you wanted to pop open your fuel door back there, you do have to come into the interior and pop this open, and now your fuel door will open up. But you may notice that you do not get a capless filler neck. You just get the standard twist off. So that is what that looks like. Obviously, at this price point, it's kind of what you would expect. Now, here's a rear 3/4 shot of this thing, and this is where I really see like the 2016 Nissan Rogue is like in this area right here. These taillights look very similar to the 2016 Rogues. That's just my opinion. Let me know if you see the same thing. Let me know in the comments below. But up top here, you get a gloss black shark fin antenna. You also get a gloss black roof spoiler. This area right here is satin black. You get a rear window defroster. You get your third brake light up top there. You also get a rear wiper here as well. You can see the lights are connecting, and then you have your Nissan logo located at the center of that. Coming down just a little bit, you have your backup camera located right here, so you can see. And then you also get chrome badging on your manual liftgate with your Kicks badging and your SV badging. Like I just mentioned, you do get a manual liftgate, so you do have to pull up on it yourself. I know, so difficult in the era of everybody having power liftgates. But taking a look at what we got going on in here, this vehicle has been optioned with the $235 carpeted floor mats with the cargo mat. So you can see the carpeted floor mats say Kicks on them. That is what that looks like there. And then this is your carpeted cargo area mat. You just got to roll it out in order to see the entire thing. And then underneath here, you get your spare tire, your jack, your tow hook, and so on and so forth. Everything that you need either to get unstuck if you get, stuck in a snowbank, or to replace a flat tire. I got a piece of tape on me now. I was like wondering what was holding on to me. But then if you pull up on this right here, you can also drop these second row seats as well. So you get a little bit more storage space, but you may notice it is not fold flat storage space. So this is probably 5 inches above where the trunk is, or actually quite a bit more than 5 inches. So quite a bit of a depth difference here between the seat and the trunk. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be buying this vehicle and loading bigger things up, and you're going to have to fold those seats down. Just keep in mind there's that level difference between the trunk to the seat back when it is folded down. But closing this trunk back up and finishing things off here at the back end, you can see you get some satin black trim back here, and integrated into that satin black trim is where you'll find your 4 rear parking sensors. Then you also get a body color rear valance and diffuser. Back here you get 2 reflectors. And then last but not least, like I mentioned, this vehicle has been optioned with the $435 exterior package, which gives you this chrome exhaust tip that says Nissan on it. And that kind of about finishes things off here on the exterior of the Kicks SV. This also kind of reminds me here on the side of like the what was it, the Toyota CHR. That's kind of what it reminds me of here on the side. And then it reminds me of the Rogue in the back. Let me know if you agree with those two sentiments in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 1.6 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that makes 122 horsepower and 114 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an Xtronic continuously variable transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 9.6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 31 miles per gallon in the city, 36 miles per gallon on the highway, for 33 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive. Now, those fuel economy numbers are really good, but they do come at the expense of power and torque. So driving this thing down the street, if you live in the city, I think you'll be totally fine. But let's say you work in the city, but you live in the country, so you got to have like an hour, 45 minute to an hour commute. I don't know if this has enough power on the highway for you to be happy. You know, I know there are a lot of people that don't really care about power, so I think you'll be happy with it. But, you know, if you just like to have a little bit of extra passing power, or even like a good amount of passing power, this, you know what I'm saying? So with that stuff said, if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. So if you've enjoyed this video, if you've learned anything from this video, please just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. But with that stuff said, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press on this button right here, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pressing on that very same button, and now the vehicle is locked. 2 beeps signifies that the vehicle is locked. 1 singular beep signifies that it is unlocked. But now I want to walk you through a couple of the functions on the key fob. Starting from the top, you have your remote start function, your lock function, your unlock function, and your panic function. If you wanted to remote start the vehicle, all you have to do is lock it first and then press and hold on the remote start function, and it'll fire up. And that is what it sounds like when it fires up. But now let's take a look at the interior on this thing. So taking a look at the door panel, it looks rather basic, but you know, this is an affordable vehicle after all. So to make it affordable, there do have to be a couple, you know, sacrifices, I guess you could say, in order to make it affordable. So taking a look at the door panel itself, up top here, you basically get some satin black plastic. You get a chrome looking door handle. You get some cloth right here and a nicely padded armrest, although albeit not super nicely padded, but it's padded enough. Coming over here, you have your side view mirror controls. You have this button to restrict your passenger window privileges. You're unlocking your lock functions. You get automatic up and down windows in the front, but you do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. A little bit of storage space here, some more storage space up top there, and a speaker. This vehicle has been optioned with the $460 illuminated kick plates. So you can see it says Kicks, and where the Kicks lettering is illuminated. The rest of that door sill right there is brushed aluminum, and it actually looks pretty fancy. But now, taking a look at the interior, you get a manually adjustable driver's seat. You also get a manually adjustable front passenger seat, and that's a look at what that looks like. And again, this is the charcoal cloth interior, and you get the white accent colored stitching. But now, stepping on into the interior, let's see what we got going on in here. So I'm going to close that door there real quick. Door is closed, and then we're going to start over here basically. So down here, if you pull up on that, that's going to pop open your gas cap. If you pull up on this, that is going to pop open the hood. Then you got a spot you could set your phone, you could set your sunglasses, you could set a key fob or something like that down in there. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max for size reference, and you can see it will fit, but it's going to stick out, but it's not going to fall out, I don't believe. And plus, I don't think this thing's got enough torque in order to get it to bounce out if you floored it. But coming over to here, if you flip that down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So the steering wheel will come towards you, it'll go away from you, and then you can also move it up and down until you find your comfortable position. Once you find your comfortable position, lock it back into place. But now, if you wanted to get full access into all of this stuff, even though the engine is on, you don't get full access into everything until you push your foot on the brake and then push to start. Now you get full access into everything here on the interior. So with the full access, now let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what your turn signal sounds like. And then this is also your headlight control stalks. Right now that's headlights off. That is parking lights on. That is headlights always on. And then that is headlights in the automatic position. Coming back out, you get a vinyl wrapped steering wheel with your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the Kicks. Coming over to here, you have your volume controls. Then you have these 2 buttons here to go forwards and or backwards on a track. And then these arrows, the OK button and that back button, are all to control your 7-inch driver assist display, which is what this is over here. I'll get into that here in a second. One thing I really like about this vehicle is, as standard, you get intelligent cruise control. Intelligent cruise control is basically adaptive cruise control. It's just Nissan's way of saying it. So this button and all of this stuff is for your intelligent cruise control system. Then this is to speak to the vehicle, and if I had a phone connected, this would bring you into your phone screen, and I also believe you can pick up and or hang up on a phone call with that button as well. Coming over to here, actually, I think you'd pick up on a phone call with this and hang up on a phone call with that. This is your windshield wiper control stock, and now let's go throughout our display. So right now, it's displaying our average fuel economy. You got the time, you got the temperature, the driver assistance stuff, transmission status stuff. That is the odometer. That is the fuel range right now. That's your fuel gauge down there. And now we're gonna go throughout this screen. So coming down one, you got your fuel economy history. All I did was click down. And then if I click to the left, I'm gonna start all the way on this screen right here. So this screen is displaying your tachometer at the moment. It's also displaying your fuel range as well as the same stuff over there. Clicking over to the right, you got your audio stuff. I'm gonna go back into this screen and see if I can't see anything else. Then you can go into this screen, which is the one we were just on, those 2 pages. Then you have your info, so basically driver assistance stuff. You get your driving aids. You get your digital speedometer readout over there, and then you have your drive computer. Flipping back all the way over to here, you have your different settings. VDC is to turn your traction control system on or off. Then you have your driver assistance features, which I'll show you on screen now. Let's take a look at all of these features here. Boom, boom, boom. That is what that stuff does. And then back over to here, here are all your different settings. So you get your vehicle settings you can go throughout. You can go to your lighting settings here. That stuff there, and then that's kind of about it for that. You see all these different settings. Boom, boom, boom. That's about it for that screen. If this was my vehicle, I'd probably leave it on this screen right here personally. But on the side, you have your analog speedometer, and then you have this button right here, and I do believe this is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. And I do believe if I press and held on that, I think that resets the trip information. But yeah, this is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. Coming over to here, this lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. You get 2 HVAC vents, a hazard button, and then this is your 8-inch infotainment system with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. Basically, I'll bring you into the home screen. So this is what your home screen looks like. You get your shortcut buttons on the bottom of the screen into phone, audio, connections, info, and or settings. Then you have the clock, and then over here you have your different audio sources. You can hear that little mouse click when I click the screen to get your time up top there. Then you get all these physical controls. So you get your menu button, also known as your home button. Then this will bring you into your phone screen. This will bring you into your audio stuff here on this screen. This will bring you forward or backwards on a track. And then over here, this is gonna pop up your camera settings. This is gonna turn into night mode. This is gonna bring you back into your auto mode. This will bring you into your settings. And then this is your back button. This is your tuning control knob, and then if you press and hold on that, that will bring you in between your bass, your middle, your treble, your balance, and your fader. And then that's kind of about it for that screen. Coming down, you do get a single zone climate control system. So this is where the air blows. This is the fan speed. This is the temperature control knob, and then you can see AC, front defroster, or rear defroster, excuse me, and then recirculate, and then that's for fresh air. Coming down just a little bit more, you get a 12-volt power outlet, you get a USB-A port, you get a USB-C port, you get a spot you can set a phone down in here, you get an electronic parking brake, lights up in red letting you know that it is engaged. If you wanted to disengage the parking brake, push your foot down on the brake, push against that, and now the parking brake is disengaged. Then you have the auto hold button. So this auto hold button is basically when you're stuck in traffic and you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake by yourself. Basically, if you engaged this button, the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. And then you have your push button start button. Then you have a low mode right here. You get 2 cup holders. You get a padded armrest. Opening up your armrest, you get very little storage space down in here. You could probably set some Purell hand sanitizer. You know, a GoPro could fit down in there, but other than that, a key fob maybe, but not much storage space other than that kind of stuff. Take a look at your dash, because you do get this textured gray like trim, very interesting looking and feeling. And then coming down, you get a glove box. It is not lockable, by the way, but you get a good amount of storage space in the glove box considering the size of this vehicle. Closing that back up, You get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. You get the circular ones on the outside, and then you get the more square ones on the inside of the dash. Standard rear view mirror, and then you have all your light controls up top here. That is driver light, that is your passenger light, and then this is your light settings, whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors, as well as your instant dome light on button. So if you click to the right, that is your instant dome light on button. Both the lights turn on. Now when I open up the doors, when it's set to the left like that, the lights will not turn on. So watch, I open up the door, lights are not turning on. However, if I set this to the middle, now the lights will turn on when I open up the doors. Coming to our visor, you get a vanity mirror, but you do not get a vanity light. And then the visor itself doesn't slide, but you do get this piece on the end of the visor that does slide out and back in. And then you get an OPU panel. Another OPU panel for the passenger on that side as well. The seats themselves are actually pretty comfortable, you know? They've got a good amount of bolstering, so I would say maybe if you're like 250, I don't know how comfortable you'd be in these seats because of the bolstering, but let's say you're 200 and under, I think you'd be fine in these seats, especially 180 and under, I think you'd be good. But a couple things I wanted to go over. As standard with this vehicle, you get intelligent cruise control, remote start, Sirius XM, and then you get tons of safety features that I'll show you on screen right now. Take a look, you get the blind spot monitoring. I mean, just take a look at all the safety features that you get. But now I'm gonna throw the entire window sticker on screen. You could take a look at whatever you want to, maybe the safety stuff again, maybe the couple options that this vehicle has, but basically I'm just gonna highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Kicks SV is spec'd is $25,880. Let me know what you think of that price in the comment section down below. Is it a good deal, or is it an okay deal, or is it overpriced? Let me know your opinions in the comments below. But I want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion. So closing that door, taking a look at what we got going on back here. Again, basic door panel. Let's see how far these windows go down. So they go all the way down. That's pretty nice. You get a spot, you could set a water bottle down there, and then you also get a speaker. Folding these seats back up, let me grab the seat belt so it doesn't get stuck back in there. This is what the rear seats look like. Stepping on into the rear seat. Up top here, you get an OPU panel. You do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, but you do get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. Popping both of these things open, you get 2 USB-A ports back here. Another OPU panel over there, and that's kind of about it for what we got going on in these rear seats. I am adjusted behind myself, and I am 5'9". I've actually got a considerable amount of leg and knee room. Here's another view of that. When it comes to headroom, I would say I probably have another, 3 to 4 inches of headroom up top there. Then you get a dome light here as well. You can set it to on, off, or door. And then the seats themselves, they're good reclinability. They could be reclined a little bit more. So I don't know if I'd want to do like a 5-hour road trip back here. I think I'd be fine doing like a 2.5-hour road trip, maybe a 3-hour road trip. But other than that, for somebody like me, I like to recline. It's got a good amount of recline, but if you're going to be doing long road trips, I'd rather sit in the front seat. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Kicks. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion. Take a listen. For city driving, I think it's got enough power, but let's say, you're on the highway, right? And I apologize about that little piece of tape right there. I might be able to try to get it off here. Let's say, you need to pass somebody and you're going about 45. Here's Floored. So it's got, it's got decent power, but it definitely doesn't have a ton of power. Here's another little Floored. So again, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but what do you expect for $25,000, right? This is an affordable vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B. It's going to get you from point A to point B efficiently. It's not going to have all the frills of a car that costs $30,000 or $40,000. So that's just something that if you're going into this, I would hope that you would expect. But seat comfort wise, I think it's comfortable. You know, I haven't driven this thing on the highway at like 70 miles an hour, so I'm not quite sure how it would sound wind noise and road noise wise at that speed. But I can tell you from going from between like 30 to, here I'm gonna hit a bump on purpose, it soaked up that bump pretty well, between 30 and 50 miles an hour, I think it's been plenty fine. Again, power wise, don't expect it to have a bunch of power. Don't go into it expecting power, because it's not the most powerful thing. But again, it'll get you where you need to go, and it's going to get you where you need to go efficiently. Again, you can only get this in front wheel drive, so that's another consideration. So if you live in Alaska and you get a lot of snow, well, I don't know if you'd be looking at this anyway. But you know, even front wheel drive vehicles with the right tires, they can get you where you need to go. You just got to be a little bit more mindful. And again, when it comes to braking in the snow, all-wheel drive and front-wheel drive are the exact same. It's just the getting going kind of thing. So there's a CHR, kind of looks similar to this from the side profiles perspective, but infotainment system is just like the infotainment system you find in an Altima and a Maxima, so on and so forth. So I think that works very well. It's very easy to use, very intuitive, so that's good. The sound system's good enough. It'll get you, you know, it is a sound system, so be happy with it. You know what I'm saying? For 25,000 bucks, don't expect a sound system that's going to sound like a Bose, a Harman Kardon, so on and so forth, because that's not what it's going to be. But it is a pretty decent sound system for the money. So overall, I think this is a good value. You know, you get quite a bit for your money, you know, especially when it comes to you know, safety features and stuff like that. You get all those safety features that I'll show you on screen again right now. You also get adaptive cruise control, which is awesome. And overall, I think it's a good car for the money, especially nowadays, considering how expensive vehicles are. You know, it's a good car for the money. And especially if you're on a budget, you're on a tight budget, you don't want to spend a bunch of money on gas every month, I would say at least go out and take a look at one of these, because I think you should put it on your short list. If you're only looking to spend about $25,000 on a new vehicle, at least go and take a look at this. I'm not saying you got to buy it, but put it on your list to go and take a look at, because I do think that it is worth taking a look at. But yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything from this video, please just take a second, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Again, the likes and comments look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.